What's up, everybody? A very welcome along to Friday night's late night agenda. The night after we went to Old Trafford and beat Manchester United by 4-2. Are you still smiling? I'm still smiling. Haven't been able to sleep. It's great, isn't it? Ladies and gents, it's back in our own hands. We've lots to get through tonight. We'll talk about the game last night. We'll look ahead to the game at the weekend. We'll talk transfers. We'll talk about the Sadio Mane incident with Jurgen Klopp and everything in between. Anything that you guys want to talk about, as always. This is your show, folks. Put it into the chat and I'll do my best to get through it. Right, sorry, I'm just opening up the chat here now. What have we got? A lot of people talking about Mohamed Salah. Look, I think I just spoke with Leon a few minutes ago, actually, from Boyle Sports, and he was saying to me that, you know, that fourth goal, I think we all seen what it meant to Mohamed Salah when he scored it. We seen the release from him. Even when he was getting substituted right at the end, he was going off the pitch smiling, which was lovely to see. And it was just a great performance all around last night. I thought the entire front three had their swagger back, which was great. And look, we'll touch on the Sadio Mane thing. I don't want to dwell too much on any negativity, ladies and gents, but 4-2, isn't it great? Life's great. I love it. It's great. Liverpool beating United, it doesn't get any better. Life great. I've had a few United fans trying to have a bit of banter with me, and look, I'll always try and show respect where I can, but the people saying that they're in for another trophy and that we'll finish trophyless, I mean, technically it's true, but the reason they're in another trophy final is because they couldn't hack it in the Champions League and they got knocked out in the group stage. And whether they want to admit that or not, it is kind of the truth. But that being said, I'd be the very same. If Liverpool were knocked out and dropped into the Europa League, I'd want to go and win it as well. Any news on Konate? Exactly as I've said to you, you've seen Fabrizio Romano probably today, ladies and gentlemen, put out another tweet to say that the contract has been agreed between the player and Liverpool till 2026, and Liverpool are talking with Leipzig now. Like I've said to you before, there's a release clause there, but the way release clauses are triggered is you go in, I think in this case it will be to the Bundesliga offices or maybe the German FA offices, and normally to execute a release clause you'd have to go and deposit the entire amount. I think Liverpool are trying to do a deal with Leipzig that maybe sees us pay on the never, for want of a better phrase, a small amount up front and then the rest, but it remains to be seen if they can sort that out. But barring any actual catastrophes, he will be a Liverpool player, like I said, at the end of the season. And yeah, welcome. Great to have him in at the club, and it will be great when the deal gets done. He didn't take part, from what I believe, in the German Cup final last night, although I didn't watch the game myself. Congratulations to Dortmund on winning that one. Sancho scored a couple, and I think Haaland scored a couple as well in a 4-2 win. What have we got? Wake and Pitch and say Craig's the only Liverpool fan I like. I'll take that, mate. I'll take it. I'm still smiling. Honestly, I haven't slept after last night. I was going around my house at 3 o'clock this morning, dancing around the kitchen while everybody else was asleep because I was smiling. Alex said Salah to PSG. Look, if Kylian Mbappe leaves PSG, there is a train of thought to believe that they may come after Mohamed Salah. Salah has 2 years left on his Liverpool deal, and I'm sure we're going to sit down with the lad to try and as Klopp called him, a goal scorer machine. I can't see any reason the club wouldn't look to extend Mohamed Salah's stay. So would PSG be interested if they lose Mbappe? I'm sure that they would. Something today though really almost made me spit my coffee out with laughter, ladies and gentlemen, and I think even the most anti-Liverpool person would admit this, but ESPN had a piece out that suggested that Liverpool had set the price for Mohamed Salah. Are you ready? Don't have any drinks in your mouth because you might spit them out when I say this. That apparently Liverpool have set the price tag for Mohamed Salah at €80 million. Is that a deposit, or are they buying him on the never? Because €80 million for Mohamed Salah. Are you having a laugh? Who comes up with this? Honestly, who comes up with this absolute horse manure? Salah for €80 million, about £70 million for somebody who is consistently just delivering goals. That is ridiculous to even suggest it. But in answer to your question, mate, the PSG, again, it has been believed that Pochettino wants Kane and the PSG board would like Salah, but you know, you ain't getting him for €80 million. Now, the ESPN piece, I don't believe, suggested he was going to PSG for €80 million, but that was a price Liverpool were willing to do business at. Now, if you believe that, you'll believe anything. And I've got a couple of bridges and some magic beans I'd like to sell you as well. Philip Hunt, how are you, my man? Said a great win, and let's go get top 4. Have a big summer transfer window. I'm worried about West Brom and Burnley. Always annoying games. Big up, Craig. Thank you, Philip. I'm a little bit worried about the Burnley game in particular because, you know, Burnley are always difficult, and they're going to have fans back inside Turf Moor for that game next Wednesday. A little bit more confident about the game on Sunday, but that being said, Philip, like you've said, mate, we got to go and get the job done. We've done a really difficult part of it now. I mean, beating United at Old Trafford, Arsenal beating Chelsea, some things have gone in our favour after we tried our best to mess it up, dropping points against Newcastle, dropping points against Leeds, but it is now back in our own hands, and, you know, hopefully we go to the Hawthorns on Sunday, get a few goals in the bank, and I've got my preview recorded. That'll be out tomorrow, my starting 11, my score predictions, and of course my chat with Leon. What have we got? Alias, I believe, I'm not sure if I've pronounced that correctly, or Alias, said Salah's worth 150 million. That's kind of the figure I put on him, even in a COVID world, even where football finances are struggling. I still don't see any way you get Mohamed Salah for less than 120 anyway, and that's pound I'm talking, not euro. Richard said, is that 75 million in pounds? A bit less even. I think it's probably about 72 million pound, I think, Richard, if my maths is correct. I want Musialowski in the first team. He looks like the new Coutinho, said BM. Very good player. I've only seen fleeting glimpses of him, of course. Scored a goal to one of the goals to help the Liverpool under-18s to the Youth FA Cup final, which is brilliant. And yes, he has come in and been highly lauded, and rightly so, and it was a great piece of business by the club to bring young Musialowski in. But again, I'd say I don't want to put too much pressure on him. I'm sure that Liverpool will give him pre-season, and they'll look to see how he develops, but we don't want to be putting too much pressure on these kids too soon. Rodrigo de Paul linked to Liverpool again, said Sai. Yes, the update on that was, I told you guys that AC Milan were interested in Rodrigo de Paul. It looks like they've been put off by the 40 million euro price tag that's been put on his head. And also it's interesting to note that Rodrigo de Paul changed agents and signed up with Mino Raiola, I think it is, recently enough as well. And yeah, there was a link today linking Liverpool to Rodrigo de Paul. Somebody who we have looked at, I know that for sure, but other than that, mate, I can't shed much further light to the situation, other than you are absolutely spot on. There was a new link there today. Trent was awesome last night. Elijah John 5, lovely to see you in, mate. Cheers for the email, by the way, and apologies again that I took so long to get back. It somehow found its way into our spam folder, mate. But yeah, he was brilliant last night, and definitely deserved to get man of the match. Great to see him put in that performance in front of Gareth Southgate there as well. But there are a couple of little things before I get back onto transfers, ladies and gents, that I just want to touch on from last night. Mark Mighty Red, thanks for renewing your membership, buddy, and welcome back to Anfield Agenda FC. You're with us at least 6 months anyway, because you've got that shiny red badge. But look, let's talk about Sadio Mane for a little second, because I don't want to dwell on a negative, and it didn't look great, and I think the manager has dealt with it publicly very well, but I will be surprised if he doesn't pull Sadio up on it behind the scenes and let him know that that's not on. I mean, yes, he was disappointed at not playing. I understand that. Everybody understands that. But this also comes in a week where he himself has acknowledged that he hasn't had his best season, and he didn't know why, and that's fair enough. I mean, sometimes it's just a whole host of different things, but Klopp made the right decision. The game shows that. He said it was a late decision that was made in training to go with Diogo Jota instead. Diogo Jota scored, Bobby scored too, Salah scored. I mean, it was the right call. And I hope that Sadio channels that frustration and maybe unleashes it against West Brom at the weekend, because the best way to do his talking is on the pitch. And again, Klopp always tries to paint a positive picture, which is great, and that's what he should do. But to me, I didn't like it. I thought it was... it's not like he got substituted and was angry. I can always understand that in a player in the heat of the moment after getting substituted and angry, but to hold that frustration over from not getting picked, and then to release at the end of the game where we've just beaten United at Old Trafford for the first time under Jurgen Klopp, we put ourselves back into contention for top 4. I thought it wasn't great from Sadio, but again, I'm not going to have a dig at him. I love the lad. Craig, you're a legend, said Twins Mason. Thank you, mate. I'm not, but thank you. I'm just happy. And it's not very often this season we've had a lot of time to be happy, has it? But yeah, last night was a brilliant game. I mean, to see the lads return with the swagger that they played, particularly the forwards last night, and the bravery, by the way, in team selection as well from Jurgen Klopp to go with Fabinho in midfield and give young Reece Williams the start alongside Nat Phillips, I thought deserved credit as well. And he wasn't let down, because look, United got at us at times, but they were always going to. They were a good attacking side with plenty of pace, and they were always going to create opportunities. But I think all our hearts were probably in our mouth at 3-2 when Phillips cleared that ball off the line. I just thought, oh, here we go. But Salah, as he always does, has had something to say in the end, and it was just a brilliant finish. And what I loved most about that Salah goal was that it was him that started the press to take the ball off Matic, if my memory's correct, which set the tone again right at the end of the game. And then Salah was through on goal, calm, composed, great finish. And I said this last night and I'll say it again, and this isn't a dig, by the way, at Manchester United fans or anything, but Dean Henderson's positioning was dog shit for that. And I'll never understand why he got a start ahead of David De Gea, or why he's started a lot of games ahead of David De Gea. I know David De Gea hasn't been the David De Gea of old, but to me he's an infinitely better keeper than Henderson, and his positioning was horrendous. And as a former keeper, I feel I can speak with some confidence about that. It wasn't great. It really wasn't. But that's a whole lot of not our problem, is it? Now, one more thing. I did say I had a couple of things I wanted to pick up on. I'm not going to throw shade at Manchester United fans, but I was very disappointed last night, as I'm sure most United fans were, as I'm sure you guys were, to see the Manchester United fans outside the stadium protesting against the owners. That's sound. That's their right to do so. But to see them then singing songs about poverty in Liverpool when one of their own players magnificently stood up and spoke about his own suffering, his own hunger at times when he was a child growing up because of lack of food and because of insecurity financially, and did great work, and we all lauded him for it, and rightly so, because Marcus Rashford deserves every plaudit he gets for that. But I thought it was below the belt when you're there trying to get out greedy owners and calling them corporate pigs, and then in the same breath slagging off a city just up the road from you for poverty, when one of your own players has spoken of his own experience of food poverty and insecurity. I just didn't like it. I'm all for banter, I'm all for ribbing each other about the results and starting 11s and calling each other's players shit and all, but it just was a low point for me. I lost a bit of respect for those few fans, and it was few, I have to say, because most United fans, and a lot of them have come in and congratulated us on the win, and that's what I've gotten to know with the Manchester United fans over the last few months. That's the side of them I've gotten to see, was the sportsmen, but there's always a few that let them down. And us as well, like, we're no angels, our fan base has a few idiots as well. Any more Basuma links, said Jake? Not that I've seen, mate, no. Now, he won't be short to suitors this summer because he's a quality player. Keep up the good work, Craig. Loving your content at the minute. To Kieran John Messi, thank you, sir. Really appreciate that, and thank you for the super chat as well. Alisson needs to work on his passing. I couldn't agree with you anymore, mate. I was spitting feathers last night when he played that slack ball out. I mean, at the start of a game at Old Trafford, just not the place to be messing around. Put your foot through it, clear it long. Which is mad, because if you think about it, one of the things that we lauded Alisson about when he came in was his distribution. He was sensational, and I don't know what's happened to maybe dent that confidence a little bit. Mark Mighty Red, thank you for the super chat as well, man. You're very generous. Thank you very much. Konate, spoke about it at the start of the stream, but you might have missed it. Again, as Fabrizio Romano confirmed today, a deal has been agreed between Liverpool and the player for 2026. The clubs are still working out the release clause and how that'll be paid, but barring any major catastrophe with the medical, he will be a Liverpool player at the end of the season. Is Angelo Gabriel from Brazil rumour still there? I can't say I've seen any, Sean, but I could have just missed them, mate. So yeah, I haven't seen that, mate, sorry. My head's still a little bit up my backside, ladies and gents, today, if I'm being honest with you, because, as I said, I'm still kind of on cloud 9 from last night. Have a good weekend, Mason, mate, and lots of love to you and the family, buddy. Peter27 said, hope we don't lose you on YouTube because of some absolute ball bags. Bag of kios on me. Thank you. And look, I don't know what the future lies for me, or what the future holds for me, I should say, at this moment in time. I'm trying to carry on. I promise you, I don't want to walk away. I want to carry on. I want to keep doing it, but we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see how the next few weeks unfold. I'll be keep doing my thing and trying to ignore. I mean, I didn't turn the chat off last night in the first half, but I hid it, so I couldn't see the chat because, you know, I knew what was there. I could see the salt things coming up, and I was a bit hurt by that, to be honest with you, because I think I've been extremely fair this season with regards to opposition teams and any games I've called, particularly on Mundo Sporto. I think I've tried to be as neutral as I can. So yeah, it was a bit tough. Andrew O'Callaghan says, "How are you?" Tell him that he'll be tattooing me really soon. Owen, that's tell Andrew. I said Andrew's the guy that does my tattoos, by the way. Really talented dude, works out of Arklow, and he'll be the guy who's putting the forfeit tattoo on me. My favourite trolling comment that I always promised if I got to 100,000 subscribers. So yeah, I'll be hooking up with Andrew soon to get that one done. Don't know where yet though. Probably my arse, Andrew, if you're watching, mate. Sorry, you might have to look at my arse, mate. I mean, it's not something anybody wants to see, but there you go. We're all loving the content, Craig. I love these transfer streams, Jake. I'm a transfer whore, mate. I love transfers. It's one of my favourite parts of this whole football ecosystem, is getting to look at a shiny new player unveiled at, well, what will be Kirby now instead of Melwood. By the way, have you seen the plans for Melwood, the revised plans? Robbie Fowler and Jamie Carragher are going to be custodians of Melwood now, and it's been developed into a facility that will be used for the next generation of sporting talent to come through. So I think Beth Tweedle is going to be involved from a gymnastics perspective. There's going to be swimming there's going to be football there, and I think there might be some type of a college or a course that's going to be done there as well, which is fantastic to know that Melwood is going to be kept for sports. It's beautiful, and it was bought by a development authority or a housing development crowd, but they've decided to go this route, which I think is it's fitting. It's testament to the history of Melwood as well, so it's fantastic. And another bit of good news today, which was great. When will you do the West Brom prediction? I recorded it earlier on. Just did the part with Leon before I came on here. So it will be out tomorrow, I think, at about 5, if my memory's right. But it'll be coming out tomorrow anyway. So make sure you do have your notifications turned on. Any news on Jordan Henderson? No. The club play their cards close to their chest, Ellis, when it comes to updates on injuries. You've probably seen that yourself. There's nothing new, but I mean, I don't think we'll see him this season, if I'm being honest. I think he may go away with England for the Euros if he gets picked by Southgate, but I don't know if we'll see him again for Liverpool this season. But I hope to be wrong. I hope that we get a pleasant surprise. Better than Melwood being turned into flats. Absolutely, Keelan. I think it's brilliant. I was so happy when I heard it and when I read it earlier on, and to include Beth Tweedle and Carragher and Fowler and stuff, it's just brilliant. It's a great move. It's a classy move, and I think it's one that will benefit the local community greatly moving forward, and hopefully develop the next elite athletes, whether that be in gymnastics or swimming or football or whatever it might be. Do you think we'll win all our 3 games left? The one that worries me most is Burnley away next Wednesday, because there'll be fans inside Turf Moor, and you know, Burnley away is always a difficult enough game, so that's the one of the 3 that has me worried. But I suppose we'll know how our future lies after Chelsea take on Leicester on Tuesday, which I'll be doing on Mundo Sporto, by the way. I'll be doing a watch along of that one. Liam, how are you? Lovely to see you in. Jack as well, just a fan from the States. Wanted to say thanks for always being honest with your comments, mate. I haven't been able to promise much since this channel started, but honesty has been the one thing, and trust, that I've hoped to build with you guys. And I'll always be honest, mate, even if it lands me in trouble. I don't know how to be any other way. I can't bite my tongue. I say what's on my mind. We need squad depth. We can't win trophies with 15 players, said Wendigo. I kind of understand where you're coming from, but we've been really unlucky and unfortunate this season. But in saying that, I do still understand that we should have had another centre-back. But then again, I'm a hypocrite, because I did say back when we signed Thiago and we signed we signed Thiago and we signed Jota, that I understood it if it meant that we could get those 2 players. So I guess in hindsight I look like a bit of a fool, but it won't be the first time, and it certainly won't be the last time. But yeah, we do. And Konate will come in, maybe Kabak, we're still unsure on that. And look, I don't know again what the story is with Kabak. I've heard varying reports. Some people think it's a little niggle, some people say he won't play again this season. I don't know the truth on that one, so If he doesn't play again, then I think the manager has a very difficult decision to make over whether he triggers that £18 million agreement with Schalke to buy him. I would, personally, but, I don't make the decisions. Other than that, I think we need a midfielder to come in to replace Gini, which is going to be difficult because, Gini... I criticised the team selection last night and said I would have went with Curtis Jones, but I've got to be honest and say that Gini was excellent last night and put in a fantastic shift. Whose strongest links at the moment? Konate, Jake. It has to be... Konate's a done deal, put it that way. So, other than that, I don't want to put any money on the table, but maybe it's just because I want this to be true, but I'm loving the Bissouma links, I have to say. I really am. Who do I think is the most likely CDM we're going to sign? I don't think we will sign a central defensive midfielder, mate. We have Fabinho, and Hendo can play there, and Milner can play there, and Thiago can play there. So I think if we sign a central midfielder, it'll be an 8, a box-to-box midfielder, somebody like Bissouma. Loan out Elliott or give him a chance. 100% give him a chance. I was humming and hawing about this for a while, but the kid is a special talent, and... he's Liverpool through and through, so he will run through a brick wall for Jurgen Klopp, and he's had a very good spell with Blackburn under Tony Mowbray. I mean, their form kind of dipped a bit as the season went on, but he signed off with a goal in his last game, and I think he'll get a chance. I do. I'd keep Nat Phillips. He's been effing brilliant. I love the way you put in F in there, mate. You're allowed to curse, it's alright. He has, but look, he's not good enough. I mean, that sounds so harsh, I know, because we all absolutely admire the heck out of him for what he's done this season and the levels he stepped up, but in the cold light of day, if we remove sentiment from this, I don't think he's good enough to be at Liverpool Football Club. But I'll caveat that by saying he has done his career the world of good, and he should, I hope, get a good move somewhere if he moves off for Liverpool. If Klopp decides to keep him, I'm not going to complain. I'll happily have him as a 5th or 6th choice centre back, but I think he'll move on, and I hope he gets a Premier League club or a club that makes him happy, because he's a classy guy and he's shown it, and he's an old throwback centre half, isn't he? He puts his head where it hurts, and he's yeah, I mean, we've been very fortunate that we kept him on and we didn't sell him on to Bristol or Swansea or whoever it was that was in for him. Sell or keep Harry Wilson? Sell. He's a highlight reel player for me. He doesn't track back enough. I've seen him pussy out of tackles at times, and not for me, not at Liverpool. I just don't see it there. As I said, he's a match of the day style player to me. But I think, again, his Premier League standard, I just don't think is Liverpool Premier League standard, a team that wants to go and hopefully challenge on all fronts. But look, it's very difficult to say no to Nat Phillips after what he's done, because, he's won us all around. There's no denying that with regards to his likeability and his hardness, and his voice doesn't match how he looks though. Did anybody see his interview after the game last night? I was expecting a far more gruff or hoarse type voice than the very, very eloquent voice that came out of him. Can I get the Discord? Have a look on the community tab of the YouTube channel, buddy, and the link should be there. If not, I'll get Connor to refresh the link. But if you're a member, which you are, Cohen Builds, have a look on the Discord link. Or excuse me, have a look. I'm sorry, my head's still up my arse. Have a look on the community tab of the YouTube channel, and the link is there. You'll be able to see it because you're a member. Non-members won't be able to see it. But if you've any issues, buddy, email contact@anfieldagenda.com and I'll help you sort it out. Thoughts on Kabak? I covered him a little bit earlier on in the stream, buddy. It's a difficult one because, you were hoping you'd see him for the last 5 or 6 games of the season, and it would give us more of a scope to form an opinion about whether Klopp should or shouldn't trigger it. Look, at the end of the day, it's Klopp's decision and the board's decision. I would sign him for 18 million. I think it's not too much of a gamble at that price. And if we keep Matip on, he's going to get injured next season. He will. It's just the way he is. Van Dijk and Gomez coming back from long-term injuries. We all hope for the best, but none of us know. So I'd like to see us go into next season with 5, maybe 6 centre-backs. And you know what? I'd love us to maybe adopt that Thomas Tuchel system or something similar with a 3-4-3 formation, something like that. Persher signed a new Ajax contract, Richard. Now that doesn't mean that there isn't a release clause in there, but that's just the only update I have on Persher is that he signed a new contract with Ajax. I think it was a couple of months ago, if my memory's right. Hey Craig, Salah should command the same money as Harry Kane. Salah has been less injury prone and has actually scored the biggest games. Look, if he does sign a new deal, I'm sure that we will be breaking our transfer record, of course, because there's talk that Fabinho and Van Dijk are going to get new deals. I'd read somewhere that Van Dijk could be on as much as 400 grand a week, which would absolutely smash our wage structure. So if he's going to get that, I'm sure Mohamed Salah will rightfully want the same. So, pay the man whatever we can. That would be my response to the owners. Will Salah stay? Zagger, your guess is as good as mine, mate. I've got no inside scoop on Mohamed Salah, but if last night showed us anything, it's how much it meant to Mo. I know he's chasing down a golden boot as well, but the smile on his face, even when he was being taken off, he's a big game player, and as Klopp said, he's a goal machine. So I hope that the club can figure something out with Mo and get them all signed up along with Fabinho and Van Dijk over the summer. What do you think of Mane last night? I covered it, Tracy, at the start of the stream, but I don't want to dwell on a negative, but it wasn't a great look. It was because what gets to me is he carried this over, obviously, from last night all the way through the game right to the end. So it's not like it was a heat of the moment thing or a spur of the moment decision where he was substituted and he was a bit annoyed. He actually came on at the end of the game. We won the game, very late goal to secure it, and he still acted that way at the end of it. Now, I understand the disappointment, and I'm sure Klopp will talk to him behind closed doors, but it wasn't a great look, particularly on the manager's first win at Old Trafford. But, you want your players to be disappointed as well when they're not picked, but I just thought, wrong moment for me. Can you give your score prediction early? Go on then, mate. I will, because I'm in a good mood. 3-1. I went for a 3-1 win for Liverpool. I think it'll be an open game against West Brom. They've got nothing to lose. Some of their players are going to want to maybe put themselves in the shop window, and if any team opens up against us, like United found out last night, I'll always back Liverpool in an end-to-end game. So I think we may concede one, particularly if we go in search of more goals, but 3-1 is my prediction for the weekend. Soccer for sucker, mate. I appreciate the offer, but I'm not giving you soccer, nor do I want to be sucked by you. I know what you're trying to say, but your dumb ass couldn't write it correctly, so I just thought I'd make a mockery of you instead. What you're trying to say is soccer is for suckers. It's called football, not soccer. Only Americans call it soccer. It's called football. It was invented in England. It's called football. It's football. But whatever, mate. I'll pass on the sucking though. Keep that for yourself. Enjoy it. What have we got? Sell me some of those magic beans. No problem, buddy. No problem. I've a whole big bag of those magic beans to sell, and a couple of bridges as well if you want that. Hey up, Craig, lad. Love your content. Thank you, Zach. Really appreciate that, mate. It's soccer, bro. Don't bro me. I'm not your fucking bro. I'm not your pal. You're a dickhead. Don't be coming on here broing me, you absolute twat. Go back to your own sport. Nobody gives a shit what you have to say in our chat. It's called football. It was invented in England. Only you lads over in the States decide to change the name. And even at that, by the way, half of the clubs in the MLS call themselves FC. You couldn't make it up, mate. You couldn't make it up. But, I love NFL, and you're obviously a Jags fan. I know I won't knock your own version of football, because I love it. It's a good sport, but it ain't football, pal. In fact, most of it's played with your hands. So, each to their own, pal, but it ain't soccer. It's fucking football. What have we got? He says to me, I've no idea, but when was the last time England won a trophy? I'm Irish. I couldn't give a fuck the last time England won a trophy, mate. Ireland don't win trophies in football, but it's still called football, and you're still an arsehole. So, adios, Jags fan. You go back into your little, hole, hovel, wherever it is you crawled out of. Anyway, bye-bye to you. Hey Craig, what do you think Liverpool might finally try and win the FA Cup? We've got to try and win everything, Damon. I mean, I want all these players to leave Liverpool Football Club with every trophy possible. So FA Cup, League Cup, absolutely. And to do that, we need to rotate. Now, there was a good move from BT. I don't know if you guys seen this today. It was put out there, but there's no more of this 12:30 nonsense Saturday kickoff anymore for teams that are going to be playing in the Champions League. Now, I don't know if this comes in next season or the season after, but it's going to be a 7:30 kickoff on Saturday instead of that ridiculous 12:30 one. So yeah, there you go. American rugby should be called handball. Look, yeah, it's rugby for people who aren't brave enough to play rugby, really. It's a great sport, by the way. I love it. It's an amazing sport, the NFL. I've really gotten into it. But it's not. It's football. Do you know what I mean? Love you too. JX Diddy or Giddity, I don't know how to pronounce that. News on Rodrigo de Paul, touched on it earlier on. It looks like AC Milan have pulled away from their interest in him due to the 40 million quid price tag. Don't know if Liverpool are going to push ahead or not, but we are still linked with him. And he did change agents recently as well to join forces with Mina Raiola, I think it is. Thoughts on Firmino? Oh man, how great was it to see Bobby back last night to his kung fu kicking, all-conquering, swaggery self. The man was dripping in sauce last night. It was beautiful. The header was amazing. The finish was amazing. He was amazing. Salah was amazing. Jota was amazing. Trent was amazing. It was just amazing. You're the best, always watching you. Thank you, pal. Appreciate that. I mean, I've been blown away over the fact that we hit 100,000 subscribers blows my mind. I'm just a normal working class lad that lives in a council house, that loves Liverpool Football Club, that started this with Connor to help reach out to people and to, you know, give myself a link to the outside world, because I don't go out that much. So yeah, it's been a mad week. It's been a very emotional week. Being able to get those pictures with Connor with the YouTube Silver Play button was it was great. It was great, and I was delighted for him as well. So that's all down to you guys, though. As always, we wouldn't be anything without you. Without you guys coming in, supporting us, watching our streams, commenting, sharing, slagging, whatever it is that you do, we wouldn't have a platform without you. So here's hoping that we carry on, and here's hoping that, you know, we continue to grow. Lee, how are you, mate? Love the YouTube trophy, mate. Thank you, buddy. And look, good luck to you guys in the FA Cup final. I'm rooting for you. I really am. Not because of anything against Chelsea. It's not like that. It's because I just want to see you guys do it. I mean, I have a lot of respect for Leicester City. I have a lot of respect for the owners and the way they run the club. And I'd love to see you lift the trophy. So best of luck, buddy, in the FA Cup final. Harry Kane to Liverpool. That won't happen. We won't pay the money to Spurs, nor would we pay the wages for Kane. Be interesting to see where he does end up. I mean, I've long told you guys I have an outside feeling that he could end up at United, and I don't know why. I mean, I have nothing to back that up with. Sell Mane. I hope that isn't just off the back of last night, mate, because I'm with you that it wasn't great, but I wouldn't sell somebody over it. Now, maybe I'm putting words in your mouth. Maybe you want to sell him for another reason. Sancho news. Don't have any. Other than the fact that he'll be moving and wants to play in England. You know, United will be in from, Liverpool will be in from, Chelsea might be in from. And I don't want to say that Champions League football could be the difference maker for that deal, because I don't mean that from the perspective of Sancho wouldn't come to a club in the Europa League, because I think he would for one season, because look, Liverpool will be back in the Champions League. But I think from our perspective and the money side of it, securing Champions League football would probably be the only way that we could potentially broach the subject of going to sign Jadon Sancho. But look, we'll wait and see what happens. I know United fans are absolutely convinced he's going to end up at United, and he may well do. I don't know, but I hope that we're in that conversation. Is the thumbnail through 80 million is a disgraceful price? So the thumbnail stems from an ESPN article, mate, where they suggest that Liverpool are willing to do business for Mohamed Salah, and the price has been set at 80 million euro, not pound, euro, which I think is about 72 million quid, which is like, do you know what I mean? As I said at the start of the stream, if you believe that we're going to sell him for 80 million euro, I've got a bag of magic beans and a couple of bridges that I'd like to sell you as well. Pranav said, Konate, Basuma, Sancho in the summer and I'll be really happy. Well, I'll tell you what, mate, that wouldn't be too shabby a transfer window there, Pranav. I'd be very damn happy with that one, my friend. You're better than Goldbridge. Look, on me, you know, I'm not going to talk ill of Mark or talk bad of him. Mark's a friend of mine. Mark's somebody I have the utmost of respect for. And without Goldbridge, I probably wouldn't have started this channel, because he showed us what was capable with green screen. And I like to think that I'm good at what I do, and I enjoy what I do, but I'm not going to start knocking Mark because he's a good lad. Should Matip leave? I'd sell him. I would, genuinely. I mean, there's no denying the lad's quality, but he's going to be injured again, isn't he? I mean, it's difficult, because it's easy for me to sit here and say I'd sell him, but somebody has to be willing to buy him. And he did sign a new contract at Liverpool, I think, a year ago. So, I don't know. But what a player if he could stay fit, because he is a classy centre-back. Love this stream, mate, said Ewan. Thank you, Ewan. Really appreciate that. I hope I pronounced that correctly. It's I-W-A-N. It could be Ewan. But either way, thank you. Roberto, lovely to see you in, mate. It hasn't been a great season for your boys at Juventus, or B comps there in the chat. Yeah, it's been, you've had as bad a season as we have, mate, I think. You worried Van Dijk might not be the same player, said Bongo Jones after his injury. Look, it's always difficult to know. What I will say is that ACL injuries and the treatment of ACL injuries have come a long way from what used to be a career-ending injury back in the day. And we've seen people come back from it with varying degrees of success. Virgil van Dijk, I believe, will come back and be the same player. But I can't give anybody a cast-iron guarantee. I only have my own belief in it. But time will tell. Time will tell. But he's not going to the Euros with Holland. I think that's the right decision. As difficult a decision as that must have been for Big Verge to make, I think it's the right one. Awo said, I love this stream. Thank you. Honestly, I'm still in shock that people watch. I don't know why, but I really appreciate it. Haaland, not to Liverpool, mate. I mean, I wish I could sit here and say yes, but nothing that I've been told or read suggests that Liverpool are going to try and sign Haaland this summer. But you know, I wish I was wrong on that one. And also, a lot of people are worried as well because Kylian Mbappe is being featured in the new Paris Saint-Germain shirt, which is a decent shirt, by the way, for next season. But I wouldn't worry about that either. Not that I'm saying he's coming to Liverpool, by the way, but I wouldn't say that rules out a move for him this summer to somewhere, because Suarez did it with Liverpool as well. He was pictured in the new season's kit and he moved on. So, you know, I wouldn't worry about that if you're a fan of any club that wants to have Kylian Mbappe, because, God, I love him at Liverpool. Oh, God, imagine that lad at Liverpool. It would be ridiculous. What about the Martinez links? Are we talking about the guy from Inter Milan? Lautaro Martinez. Yeah, he'd been linked with Liverpool. He was close to joining Barcelona last year, but Barca couldn't get the funds to make the deal happen. I'd happily take Lautaro Martinez at Liverpool, but other than that, couple of, I will say, dodgy links, because I wouldn't hold much credibility to them. But I mean, he's a good player, but I don't think he'll end up at Liverpool. Just my opinion. Who would you like to play for Liverpool? Konate, Kabak, Basuma, and Sancho would do me rather nicely. If not Sancho, then Rafinha, Neto. Do you know what? I'm starting to get on board the San Maximin train actually as well. Yeah, I'm starting to be one around more towards that idea as well. Someone said Mane out, Sancho in. El Nino, I don't know, is the honest answer. I mean, I hope we're in the conversation for Sancho, but I don't know at this moment in time, mate. How tall are you? I'm 5'10". Craig, how scared would you be if we United signed Sancho, Rice and Varane? How scared would I be? I mean, I wouldn't be scared. You'd be more competitive, but be good signings. They're all great players. I'm not going to lie about that. But there's a whole lot of ifs there, mate. Do you know what I mean? Because if there's one thing United's owners have shown is they haven't been great in the market over the last few windows. So I wouldn't hold out much hope of all those three if I was a United fan. That's just my opinion. And I wouldn't be holding out for that level of spend from Liverpool either. What else we got? Warren, thank you for the super chat. Said, delighted you hit 100k. Hope you and your family are doing well. Who would be your top 3 dream realistic signings this summer? Love the content. Thank you, Warren, and lots of love to your family as well. Basuma, I'm totally won over by Basuma. I'd love him to come in. Konate, we know that deal's going to happen. And then Look, I'd love a Sancho. I'd love an attacking wide player. I'd love a Houssem Aouar. I wouldn't mind a Daniel Malin or a Patson Daka. Lautaro Martinez, as somebody mentioned earlier on, would be realistic, but I don't see it happening. I mean, this is a summer where it's a weird one because there's a whole lot of players available. Really, really good players, but the downside to that is nobody can really afford them. So it's a summer where Mbappe could be available, Kane could be available. Who else have we got that could be available? Well, there's talk around Mohamed Salah, but I don't think he's available. And nobody has the money. And Haaland as well. Apparently 150 million will be available. So we'll wait and see. But they're realistic ones to me. Eid Mubarak to you as well. I think it was yesterday, wasn't Eid yesterday? We did touch on it on the stream last night. And to all my Muslim brothers and sisters that are out there, Eid Mubarak to all of you yesterday as well. If you weren't in on the stream, you know, on this channel we welcome in people from every race, religion, gender, sexual orientation. We don't care who you are, as long as you're nice, you're welcome into our chat. Yeah, no politics though. I mean, I get where you're going with the Gaza stuff, mate, but you know, I'm not educated enough to speak on that, so I leave it be. I mean, I'm not saying leaving it be is the right thing to do, but I'm not educated enough on the situation to speak about it. Why didn't United start their first team last night? I don't know what game you were watching, mate, unless you mean the first team that took to the pitch against Leicester City on Tuesday. But United tried everything last night. The fans tried to have the game called off. Some of the fans, I should say, some of the fans didn't work out too well. There was a game of Where's Wally with the bus, and the bus won. Then, you know, they put out a weakened team against Leicester, backfired because we beat them yesterday. And, yeah, 4-2. You love it. Simic is staying or going? I think staying, Norman. He hasn't really, has not a chance this season, has he? Whether it be because of COVID or injury. But, you know, we need to give Robbo a break. So, yeah, I'd like to see him get a good pre-season under his belt and then hopefully get a chance. Would I like to sign Lorenzo Pellegrini? No. And I had seen that link to the guy from... He's at Roma, isn't he? But I don't know if this is him linking or his agent linking him to Liverpool before Mourinho comes in to try and put him in the new manager's mind or not, but I've not seen nothing to suggest that link, and there is a link, you are right, it has been mentioned, but nobody I know or none of the journalists I've spoken to have backed up that link. What else have we got? I like the idea of selling Mane for Sancho. What about you? Not Mane, no, I don't want to sell Mane. I mean, Mane to me is somebody who has that X factor, that from a standing position, the pace that he can get over 2 or 3 yards to get past somebody, and the unknown with Sadio. I don't want to move on any of our front three, but if we had to, if we're playing this game of gun to head and we have to, for what we need, I'd probably say Bobby. And I don't like saying that, particularly after last night, because he was brilliant and he was back to the Bobby that we've all known and loved for years now. But I hope it's a point that we bring more in and we don't have to sell to buy. Can I collab with Think LFC TV? Never heard of them, mate. Again, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not somebody who watches a whole lot of YouTube and stuff anyway. But we don't really collab with many other Liverpool channels, mainly because nobody ever reaches out to us. And I've done a few things in the past with Team Coppish and Drifty and Callum, lovely people, and wish them all the best, really nice guys. Done some stuff with Alex from, is it the Cop TV, is that the name of his channel? But yeah, we just try and keep to ourselves and do our own thing. But I wish everybody the best. But Bobby is the system. I don't disagree with you, mate. And I said I don't want to sell anybody. I mean, this is one of the reasons, by the way, that I don't collab with some other channels, because I've gone on before and I've said exactly what I've said time and time again about Mohamed Salah, which is I don't want to sell Mohamed Salah, but of all the players that we have at the club, he's the one that always seemed to me like he may have another move in his career. So I said that on another Liverpool channel. Headline of the stream was Craig wants to sell Salah, or something along those lines, which that's just shithousing. And you'll do that to me once and I'll never work with you again, because that absolutely wasn't what I said. I've talked about Mane Fahim a lot in the stream, mate. It wasn't great what he did yesterday. I can't defend it. You done a vid with Togden Premier League predictions. I did, and Togden and Togdad are lovely fellas, and lovely to see them continue to progress and fly past 500,000 subs. And yeah, they're great guys, and I'll probably work with them again. They're lovely people. I hope we get Jadon Sancho if we get top 4, please. I'm with you, man. Yeah, please, Ian, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Salah for 80 million. Again, that comes from ESPN. And by the way, what channel is it that Steve Nicol works for? Is it NBC? Because he needs to shut the fuck up at this point. He is an embarrassment. I mean, I know I'm an embarrassment. I know I embarrass some Liverpool fans at times. But Steve Nicol is just a rent-a-gob at this point. He has undone all the good work that he did playing for Liverpool over the years. Very well, by the way. He played for us magnificently well. And he just talks complete pony of the highest order. He is just a poor man's Roy Keane. He needs to shut up, because he isn't the edgy, opinionated person that he thinks he is. He's just a gobshite. I'm sorry, I loved him as a footballer, but he just needs to shut up, because he's embarrassing himself and us at this point with his ridiculous... He might as well join Keys and... Gray and that dinosaur show that they have on beIN Sport, which is my dream job, by the way. I'd love to replace the two of them. Would I ever bring Neymar to Liverpool? Absolutely not. No. I'll be the first one to admit he's got every talent in the world, but he drives me demented with the histrionics and the rolling around and the cheating and the diving, and nah. What have we got? Hey Craig, ever met a current Liverpool player? Yeah, I met loads of them. A current one, sorry, I've misread the question. No, none of the lads that are playing now. No, never met any of them. Met loads of former Liverpool players, but no, none of the current crop. That show he used to do with Shaka Hislop and them was awful. I actually like Shaka as a presenter. He's a good lad. But yeah, him, Craig Burley, I think, is he on ESPN? Or not ESPN, CNBC as well. Yeah, shocking. Terrible. Hey Craig, hope you're good. Do you think Liverpool get top 4 of the season, the rate now at 10? Oh, the rate now at 10 part, I'll answer at the end of the season. If we get top 4, I'll give it a 6. But I mean, it'll be a miracle if we can somehow have the season we've had and pull this out of the bag. I mean, talk about the highs and lows, by the way. Going from me thinking we're going to retain the title in December when we were still top of the league by 5 points, to the fall off in January and February, to the mini resurgence that we're having now. It would just be the most Liverpool thing ever if we somehow find our way in the top 4, wouldn't it? Will you gamble in the Champions League final? As in, will I have a bet on it? I see what offers are on. I mean, I haven't thought that far ahead, to be honest with you. Hey Craig, hope you don't get top 4. Again, mate, I respect it, but we probably... well, I won't say we probably will. We still have work to do. At the end of the day, a lot will come down to how the game between Leicester and Chelsea pans out on Tuesday. But here's one for you that I want to put to you, because I thought about this last night. So we know Leicester have a difficult run in, and we know that they've got Chelsea on Tuesday. But don't forget that they finished the season against Spurs. Harry Kane, potentially his last game for Spurs, and definitely will be still chasing a golden boot. So they'll have something to play for in that game as well. And Spurs will want European football of some variety. So there's a lot to go this season. Now, all we can do is take care of our own results. And that starts with West Brom on Sunday. Then we've got Burnley on Wednesday. And of course we finish up at home to Palace. I am going to go off and head off into the night now, ladies and gentlemen. I won't be here tomorrow. I'm not taking a day off tomorrow. I'm not doing any content. I will be back on Sunday. We'll have our watch along in the game against Burnley, starting half an hour before kick-off. We'll have our post-match show as well. The predictions video will be out tomorrow. I go through my starting 11, my score predictions, and I chat with Leon from Boyle Sports. Have a wonderful weekend. Hit that subscribe button before you head off. Drop a like on the video. If you're watching this back later on, let me know your thoughts on that and that we spoke about. But most importantly, be well, be safe. Lots of love to all your families. Have an unbelievable weekend. I hope the sun's shining when you are. Take care and lots of love, because I'm still smiling. 4-2. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Ollie.